Draw simple, easy.
Well, hello there guys. Today we're going to be drawing a quick, simple, easy picture of Chopper from One Piece. Now get yourself a pencil and paper and start by drawing a really big circle right in the middle of the page. It's going to take up most of the space, and I like to draw my circles by using lots of little strokes in order to slowly work around a circular shape. You're never going to be able to draw a perfect circle in one great big line, so you've got to just slowly build it up as it comes all the way around. This is going to make up the majority of Chopper's head. It's actually mostly Chopper's hat, and his face will take up a very small space in the bottom of it as well. Great. So once you've got that rough shape in, we can go straight down the middle and just work out where our halfway point is. And then we're going to go and quarter it. We're going to go straight across the other way, like so, and break that down. And what that does for us is it means we know where we're going to fit things in. So Chopper's face is going to be in this bottom half area. If we then take this halved section here and we're going to quarter it again, so we're going to drop a line around about here, 1/4 of a way, and a line down here as well, another 1/4 of a way, like so. And then in this zone we're going to just mark out where the lip or the cap of Chopper's hat is. So if we take an angle that goes up and in, we're going to start from this quarter point. So if you imagine, we just keep splitting this circle down into halves and quarters, and we're going to go from this point up towards the middle, round about so, and then we're going to dip right back down to around about here, and this is going to be a nice thick brim of the cap. So we're going to turn this into a really thick shape that goes up over the halfway point and comes back down and does the same thing on the other side, around about so, like so. And then we're going to, in the top area, have some of the design for Chopper's hat. So I'm going to draw in another circle. Again, it's going to be actually quite large and take up most of this space going around the top. Might not be a perfect circle in this instance, but we'll try to fit everything in, up and around and back and down. And then I'm going to draw a slightly smaller circle on the inside edge, something like this, up and around. Now normally, in order to make things easier, I would turn the paper around all the time, just like this, so that it's easier to draw a smooth line that works with the direction of your hand. But I'm going to try to keep the paper still, just so that it shows up nice and clearly, lovely, on the camera phone. Now inside the hat, Chopper has a cross in this zone, so I'm just going to actually just draw a line that goes right across up here, like so, and then right across up here. And I don't try to just draw the outline of a cross, I draw it like two sets of straight lines, one over here, one over here. Hopefully it mirrors itself. Not quite perfectly on that side, so let's get that down a bit. And then I'm just going to put some ends on this shape. One there, down here, and up. There, like so. Very rough, but it gets the idea across. There are loads of smaller circles now that go around the outside of this shape. There's one that starts in the middle. Always like to get the middle one out of the way. And ones that start down in this corner and down in this corner as well. And then there's 3 more to put in. So I'm going to just go to the halfway point between here and here, which is about this area. It's going to be 1, there's the other, and now I know that I can just put the other circles right in between the gaps. And that's a good way to keep things even, is work out the halfway points, fill those ones in, instead of trying to draw all the way around. So that's most of the design out of the way, but we need to look at Chopper's face. Now, this area is where Chopper's face is going to sit in for us. And in terms of his great big eyes, they're going to sit just below this quarter line for us. So around about here, I'm just going to get in a nice big circle on this side, and then really similarly I'm just going to put a nice big circle, maybe a little bit bigger on this side as well. Just slowly making that line harder and harder as I work the way around. And then he's got really big pupils as well. So there's another large circle, lots of circles inside circles today. Another large circle about here, and then another one around right here. These really big pupils help keep Chopper to be very, very cute. Then a cheeky little eyebrow comes down here, as well as one just up there. And his nose sits right in the middle. That's just basically a small button that's a bit flatter on the top, a bit more curved on the bottom. And his mouth will be, again, where we've got this zone here, it's going to be halfway. So we can split this down into another eighth now of this circle. And the mouth is going to just be a line that comes straight down the middle of the nose. And then it curves up on one side like this, curves up on the other side, just like that. Open and happy. We will use the bottom of this circle as a marking point. And we're just going to draw a line that goes right to the bottom edge. Just like so, like this. And then we're going to draw around it ever so slightly to show the bottom of the lip or the chin that comes out of that shape. Excellent, it's starting to look a bit more like him already. Now on the left hand side, where we've got this line, we're going to follow this down, and that's actually just going to be the flap or strap of his cap that just floats down all the time. So that hangs down like so, and we might give it a tiny bit of edge just to show it's got some thickness. And on the right hand side, it does a very similar thing, but when we come to around about here, it's actually going to end into a buckle. So this one's a little bit wider as we make our way back up. And once I've got this flattened off area, I'm just going to draw a small square straight from the bottom, which is the inside space, and then a larger square around it, which is the outside edge of this buckle. And then on the left of this, just in here, to show that it wraps around, I'm going to bring a line back up to show what the material's doing. Excellent. Now we need to get his ears in as well, and they line up quite nicely with the direction of the lip of this cap. So I'm just going to create a shape that is a curve just off of here, and then it just goes straight out at the top, and then just curves back in like so. And then on this side we'll do the same thing, a quick curve there, fairly straight out of the top, and then just curves in and up. And inside of this shape we're going to create a bit like a Dorito, basically. We're going to follow this curve here, just do what I do and follow that curve up and around, and then same on this side. It's going to be here, but it's going to then curve up and around like that. Then the next thing to get in will be his antlers. Now these sit quite conveniently right above the ear. We've got a starting point here and a starting point here, just in that little space, and they basically are going to curve up and stay well inside of this zone. So I'm just going to create a curving up line around about here, curving up line in a very similar way around about here. And the antlers themselves, if we imagine that this area is halved and halved again and then quartered right up to here, basically where we've got this top circle, this for us will be the top edge of his antlers, right where this top middle circle is, somewhere in this space. Now these antlers are a bit difficult, so we're just going to draw them in as a large shape and then break it down. So I'm going to just create this curve which you can follow along at home that goes right up here, all the way up and around like so, and then I'm just going to turn this into this tube shape that comes right back down, and there's one end of an antler, and then we're just going to build up from there. We're going to bring another curve right off of that as well. There's two, and then there's a tiny gap in the middle where there's then 3 antlers coming off the back. So we're just going to be bringing our way further back, down and around. And because they're slightly to the side as we face on, we're just going to bring them all together. So then there'll be one more around here, like so. And then the other 3, 1, 2, and then 3, they just curve right off behind where you can't quite see it. And then it's the same on this side, but there's a plaster on this antler here where it's been reinforced. So we're just going to draw a shape on there with 3 little dots where everything's kind of nailed in, so to speak. Now again, with this side it's a little bit more difficult when the curve's against the flow of your hand, but we are just going to bring this antler right in here like so, and then it's going to curve up and around to here. In a very similar way, bring that down into a tube shape to there. Another one's coming straight off down there. There's a bit of a gap, and then the rest of them go 1, 2, and 3. Lovely. We might have to neaten up that shape a little bit when I get to turn the page around when we're going into time lapse. That gives you the rough shape. I might probably just make this a little bit wider and thicker to match this side. So we're almost there. Let's just drop in, and under this chin area we're going to draw a circle that just drops down here, and this is where his neck just meets into his top, so I'll get another circle that builds off of that. That's the collar. The main body is just a nice comfortable shape that just drops off here like so, and then we're going to put the straps of a bag like this. I'm just really building up these arcs and curves that just drop down off of the body. Then he's got some arms that just go off down the side here and here. Excellent. And then there's just some stripes on his top. So I'm just going to put a line down the middle for one colour. Then we've got another stripe off there. And then we've got another stripe off there. And we'll do the same on this side, mirror it. One here, one more here. And then we've just got a few cheeky marks of blush that come in over Chopper's cheeks, because he's always so pleased and proud whenever he's complimented. Gets a few lines that just come up here to show that he's got reindeer fur as opposed to skin. And then that is essentially it. We have our quick, simple, easy picture of Chopper. Let's get a tongue in there. Just show the mouth in shadow. And I'm going to drop into time lapse, put some ink lines on it, and I'll see you right at the end. And there you go, a nice, quick, simple, easy picture of Chopper. Now I'm going to scan this in and probably colour the hat in blue. This area is going to be in pink, but the actual X and other shapes will be in white. The reindeer horns are obviously in brown. Chopper's fur is a lighter kind of beige with yellow and white stripes and a blue backpack as well. I hope you found this tutorial useful. I bloody hope you guys had a go at home. I'd love to see it. Don't forget, you can always submit your artwork on Facebook or follow me on Instagram or check any of that out. Give this video a like and a thumbs up if you found it useful. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be doing loads more of these, as well as all sorts of bits on Mikey Mega Mega. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.